us. This is Sandy Shellis, and tonight I am very excited because we have a guest named Trever Andrew, and I'm going to let him tell us all about his company. This is really exciting. We've been talking for a while, and Trever has got some really interesting things that he's going to talk about if he's not frozen. We've been having some issues, and I'm hoping that this will work itself out. In the meantime, I'm going to read you the vision of his company. To preserve the past, present, and future of water. Water is colorblind. We need to understand it gives life or takes life. Now, we just lost him, so I'm going to do a little bit of trying to figure this out while you watch me. Trever, where are you? I don't know. I think, Trevor's in British Columbia. And if there is a problem and we cannot get this going, Desmond may be able to step in at the last minute. So we're going to see if I can't get Trever back, and I'm going to be so disappointed because we've been planning this for a while. So let me play around with all this stuff, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on. We have when he comes on, it's perfect. So this is like crazy. But anyway, you get to talk to me. How is everybody? Let's see who's with us while Trever gets to go back on. Lori's with us. Hi, Lori. And Cindy's with us. So we're going to get a full house. We just have to figure out why this connection won't stay. Trever, I don't know why your connection won't stay, but we got a full house. So let's hope this works. I do have to say, guys, what's going on in British Columbia is there are fires. And he was just showing me that there were, I'm going to copy this thing if I need to, because maybe we can have Desmond do it if we have to, and we'll just have an update on what we were talking about with Vicky and Flint. But I can't seem to get this copied. Let's see. I will send it to Desmond. I'm sorry, guys. No matter how much you try, it looks like he's trying to come back, but no matter how much we try, there's always something that happens. Don't ask me why. Okay, I think I said that to Desmond. So if we can't get Cindy, it's so nice to see you. Who else is here? Lori. Okay, I'm going to write something. We are trying to connect to Trever. And I will put that up. So if it doesn't work, I'm going to tell Desmond. Desmond, I sent you the link. So if Trever can't get back on, we'll give him 5 minutes. Why don't you try to get on, and we'll chit-chat a little bit about following up on the day, and we'll have to try Trever again. Okay. Send that to Desmond. Desmond is now a team member at Environmental Coffee House, so he actually can come on whenever he wants to. He can live stream with us. So anyway, what I was saying is that there are fires in British Columbia, and when he first came on, you could see behind him there's insane looking haze, and we have published stuff, I believe, on our page. I'm just trying to get my iPad ready too, because I had information on the company, and I did want to go through everything that Trever does. He has this amazing thing going on, and he's very bright, and he has what he says is an answer to some of these water problems that may not just be lead. It may not just be these lines. And it's a scientific kind of thing. I don't know. I'm kind of getting upset. I really feel bad because you guys don't want to look at me all night. You always talk to me. We want to have Trever come on. So, and I don't even know why that's not even coming on. Yes, Lori, British Columbia. Now I'm having I'm having trouble getting stuff coming on. Let me see if I can show anybody. Oh, well, Desmond's coming on. Desmond, all right. Hi, Des.
There we go.
I can't believe that this didn't work for Trever. I'm going to tell him I've got you on. Trever, I've got Desmond with me. Why don't you watch us and comment unless I call you on the phone and put you on speaker? Oh, why don't I try that? I'm going to call him on the phone. See if we can get him on the phone. I just rang him up before, so we can try that and put him on speaker, and let's see how that goes. Hi, everybody. Desmond's with us. Desmond, who is now a part of Environmental Coffee House. So you can live stream whenever you want. Oh, my God.
I'm proud to be a part of Environmental Coffee House.
Let's see if we can hear. Trever, can you say something so we can hear you?
Hello?
Can you hear us, Trever?
Yes, I can.
Well, I guess because we can't do it this way, Desmond and I are sitting here together. He followed the link. Since I keep losing you, which I have a feeling is because of the fire. The fires, it might be the connection. So since we can hear you, even though we can't see that lovely face, why don't you tell us about yourself a little bit, okay?
Okay, I'm Trever Andrew, the founder of Sewllke Tracking Solutions, and I created the program that I developed in about the year I started developing it in the year 2001.
Ooh.
And at that time, there was so many incidents that were going on with water back then.
Yes.
That were predicted for today.
Predictors.
So, yeah, it was. You could start seeing the outcome of it when I started looking into it from 2001 to 2005.
Wow.
And
So
you could see there was problems coming.
Yeah. And so you saw, what kind of problems did you see that were coming? I'm trying to hold this straight. I just want to get something to show people, your website. What kind of troubles did you see were coming? What'd you see?
What we see today.
What we see today.
The water's not being properly managed.
Ah, and do you see that that's a problem everywhere? I don't know if anybody can.
Yes.
No, I tried to get it so everybody could see it. Go ahead, Desmond.
No, you had it. You were right there. So people could see the website.
Oh. Well, I'll type it in after. Okay, keep going.
So at that time when I traveled across Canada, I noticed a lot of First Nations where you couldn't drink the water. And there was no platform for them at that time, right?
Yeah.
The media wasn't too involved. Society really didn't. Society just pushed it aside, right?
Yeah.
And with that, I started to see that nobody was producing solutions for it. And in order to understand how do you create a solution, you have to look at just about every incident in the world. Is it just one culture that it's happening to, or is it happening globally? And once you start looking at all the issues in the world on a global platform, you started seeing that the world is not managing the resource properly. They manage oil better than they do water.
Well, that sounds like a statement we could all agree. My gosh. Wow. So then what made you interested to find these answers and go on to this journey?
Well, when traveled across Canada, I heard Canada say that it was an equal country, and I found out that it's not equal to the basic needs of human beings.
Ooh, wow!
And when I started working on, it took me about 4 years to look at all the issues in the world and notice that the louder you spoke, the more isolated you were from society about your water quality. And when I started looking out there what the government had for a resource, for solutions for all walks of life, there was no solution. So from 2001 to 2005, I studied all the water quality problems globally. Mm-hmm. And then from 2004 to 2008, I started developing my program.
That's fascinating. Desmond, do you have any questions thus far?
Well, I do, Sandy. But I just want to keep going with the background. I want to hear more of this story before I start getting questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead, Desmond.
No, we want to hear you.
Okay. Absolutely. And so when I started developing it, the technology wasn't here to help me. It wasn't here to bring it to that level, to the platform I needed it to. I needed it to be on a cell phone, and cell phones didn't really exist. The technology for them weren't that good, but I predicted that the way people were going to communicate on a daily basis was through their cell phone. That's the Facebook, Google, Yahoo. Just your daily life is going to be on your phone, right?
Right.
And so I started developing it, and when I had the rawest form from 2005 to 2010, I had a raw form of it, and I didn't know if it was going to work or not. Mm-hmm. So I gave the product to a community that had no. They didn't use technology. They had no idea what technology was. Wow. And they didn't do any water monitoring with at all. They did nothing. So when I gave it to them as a test pilot, after 1 year of using it, they saved 20 million liters of water.
Wow.
It's impressive.
That's amazing.
Yes, and from there they implemented policies and guidelines on their water. And the way I developed the program was that when you look into how does an incident like Walkerton when they got E. coli, the strain of 157. When you look into that and how did they cover that up, right? Mm-hmm. Who covers it up? And 7 people died. And so what I did was that I gave when I met with that community, I didn't just meet with the water plant. I met with the community and I said, "This is your program. This is your power." So when they all got involved, everyone took interest in it because they were able to see the daily data that's collected from it. Oh. And when you're able to educate people on a big scale with the same data, you bypass the politics now. And water's very political.
We're seeing so. And who would have thought?
Yes. It was probably one of the hardest learning curves that I had to learn in this business is that water's very political. I've had to learn about politics. I've had to learn about how it works. So when this community used it for the first year, They collected 900 water samples.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to document where the high hazards were. They were able to redesign your water system according to true data. They were able to enforce, create policies and guidelines together. They were able to have say in what happened in their community with the water. So it just didn't belong to the organization, and the organization wasn't allowed to say what the consumer's allowed to see.
Oh, okay.
Right.
We've got it.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes a big difference when everyone's allowed to see the data. Like in Flint, Michigan, if you look at Flint, Michigan, what happened there was that the politicians kept the data away from everybody.
Mm.
And with my program, what it does, it allows everyone to see it on a daily basis. So no one can control that power.
Okay, is that something like what we just read about? The Blackfeet Nation just got total control of their water. Is it? No, nothing like that.
No,
okay.
Not even to the scale that, like here in Canada,
mm-hmm.
the Canadian government now is looking at, they want to own the groundwater. Right?
The government wants to own all the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
The surface and the ground. So what my program does, it bypasses the government now, and that power and that data and that education about the water goes to the people.
How?
Through my program.
Okay, so through this program, but okay, I guess I'm confused, because if the government of Canada is trying to say the water, no matter if it's on your land or wherever, the water is ours, government owns it. You come along, you've got this program for people or for industry. How does it work? How do you politically do this?
What I've done is that, like, I went to the government 3 years ago. I went to the federal government of Canada, and they really fell in love with my program.
Oh.
And what happened was that because of the and I went to the government to see if they would pay for it for First Nations. So when I went to them, I sat down, we did some test pilots, and the government walked away from it because the data was real. They wanted to own the data.
I see. Well, I do have a question, and I have to say one thing to you guys. I cannot show the comments. I have no idea what is wrong with this stream tonight. I have been trying to show the comments. We have questions. One of the questions from, and this is really difficult, is from Teresa Jolly, and she says, where does the data come from?
So where does the data, so when the operator, so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown for that
mm-hmm.
question.
Okay.
About how I'm a water operator every day for Adams Lake and Yinban. And there's a process that you have to follow. So I collect data every day on the water system.
Where you are, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, where I am. And there's a hierarchy to it. So it goes to my manager, it goes to the executive director, and so on and so forth, right? So by the time that data gets to the top, the public hasn't seen it.
And this is the data.
So my program bypasses all that and goes directly to everybody out there at once.
And what data are you collecting?
So you're collecting water samples, you're collecting assets, you're collecting daily usage, you're collecting water treatment, coagulation, flocculation. You're collecting all the bacteriological samples that are done on a daily basis. You're collecting about 20 to 30 different pieces of your water system every day.
Every day. And that's public water? That doesn't include private?
That's public water.
Okay, not people's wells or things like that.
No.
Okay. We're trying to keep with this. We're trying.
Yeah, oh no, that's, I totally understand that. So what happened was that when you bypass all the politics, the people get the right information. And the water operator is the main one that collects that data. And that is your job. You're the water operator. Because somebody did ask that, and I feel terrible that I can't show anything. I could show our names.
The comments are popping up when you click it.
They
stay there.
Oh, they are?
They show, but then they go away.
Oh.
And so what's going on. What they did was here in Canada, we have First Nations Health Authority. And what they are is they're equivalent to the EPA.
Okay.
And that means that they provide us a water program, but that water program no one can see it. It's controlled information. Okay. Desmond, do you have? Right. Yeah. Any comments?
Well, that comment just stayed, by the way. But yeah.
No, I mean you.
So I do have comments for Trever, or I guess questions.
And then with the program, I added in there wastewater, right? Oh, and in my program, I included watershed management, because your watershed affects your water quality, as you can tell by Flint.
I gotcha. Okay.
Right?
Yes. Now, I have to say something. This is housekeeping. Desmond, he cannot hear you because I have headphones on. So if you have a question, Desmond, you've got to type it in so I can read it.
Okay.
And then I can read it to Trever, because I didn't set this up, obviously, as a three-way thing. And so Trever, if I have questions from Desmond, he's going to type them in and I will read them. I hope so, because I can't, this is a difficult one tonight. And I'm trying to stay with you on understanding what you're telling us, because you've said that you have the answer to problems like what's happening with the lead in the water, like Vicky's water in Flint. And you were talking about pH, but what's the answer? How do we do this?
So what's happened is that with Flint, Michigan, there's no label on the potable water. Okay. You know how you go buy a bottle of water at the store and there's a label on it?
Yes.
That's what my program does.
Labels.
It puts a label on your potable water when you turn it on in your house.
You mean a label, data label, computer live?
Yeah.
So you turned the water on in the kitchen, let's say, and that water is being measured by a system that is implemented by your company, and it's telling you what's in the water and if it can be, okay. So what happens then, this is all cool now, I'm keeping with this. So let's say I'm Vicky, I'm in Flint. My water is fraught with lead, filled with lead. I have a system now. I have your system involved in my home that is now telling me what's in the water. But what do I do?
So the very first thing, I'll start right from the very beginning of Flint. When Flint went public with their lead poisoning, down there, and I believe it was 100% that people got poisoned by the lead, that the whole population of Flint.
Yes.
And what would have happened if they had my program is that if they had my program, that information would have went straight to the community members, and they would have never drank the water.
Okay, so it's proactive. So if you okay, so
very proactive,
but it still doesn't address the core issue of the water being crap. I mean, it's not.
No, but from there, what you can do is that now you bring everybody to the table with the data. When I've looked at all of Flint, Michigan's reports, and they're all different.
All right.
You have different experts coming in, and some work for the government. There's no trust, right?
I don't think the people trust. No.
Yeah. So you bring in a third person, like myself, I program it to exactly how it should be. Then you start problem solving from there. I tried hard in 2011 and 2012 to get my program out knowing globally so that this wouldn't happen. So what happens now that you have, I think Flint's looking at their first lawsuits of 866,000 or 866 million, I believe.
Million.
Yeah.
Right, Desmond? It's okay. Yes.
And now,
are you getting my question?
Have I got Desmond? Hang on a second, Trevor. Are you writing questions, Desmond?
Yeah, I did a couple of them. You're not getting them?
We are having some night, I'm telling you. Let me see if I have them. I'm so sorry, Trevor. I don't know what's going on. I am having problems seeing any questions, and Desmond's trying to write me questions, and I don't see them. This is like the worst. I don't know. Is it maybe it's the Wi-Fi? Sandy, I don't know. We had storms here. What?
My questions
are
easy.
You tell me, Desmond.
Yeah, you can relay them to Trevor. I'm just curious to know how the end user gets access to the program. I understand that this is a software that would be purchased and utilized by the treatment facilities. But how does the end user, how do I, if we're on municipal supply, get it?
How does the end user get the program? How is this happening?
They are linked through their phones or through their laptops or through their stationary computers.
Okay, so they
can pull it up on a website.
They can pull it up on a website.
Yes.
Okay. So.
And you're gonna the amount of people, like just to give you some statistics, okay?
Yep.
When I released my webpage, 77% of people viewed my webpage through their cell phone.
Very cool. I understand now.
Sure.
Yes. And that's why I developed it just for the phone. Is because that you're going to save 77% to 80% of the population from drinking that water.
I do have another question, Sandy.
Desmond, you know what? Hang on, Trevor. Do you want to write it in Messenger and I can see it on my screen in Messenger? And then I can relay it that way.
I'd have to.
Oh, it's too much. All right.
Well, it's just in regards to a physical human, a wastewater operator or a water treatment facility worker still has to upload this information manually into the program, correct? That's my question.
All right. So someone has to upload the data into the program, correct, Trevor? How does that work?
Correct. So the main people that collected water data, like for any water system, is a water operator. So he would input the information into his phone, and everyone would see it that second. Real live data. As he's entering the data. So when you do a water sample, like when you do the lead testing, Desmond sent one off to the lab. So when the lab puts the data into my program, everybody would see it at once.
Oh, so it's really a proactive thing. You get a neighborhood, implement it. Every house has it. the data is sent in real time. If there's problems, the problems are addressed immediately. Is that sort of how this works?
Yeah. So with it also is that you need to manage your watershed to protect your water source.
And the water, yes, the watershed is, let's say in Michigan, that is in Flint, that was one place. They changed it to another place, which is what created the problem in the first place. I suppose municipal water, let's say where I used to live, we used Lake Erie water. So if everybody in my community had this system and there were problems with our Lake Erie water, it would be reported and get treated right away before there would be any trouble. Boom, it's done. So really, this is an innovative system.
Yes.
There you go.
Very innovative. There's no program like this.
All right.
At all. I spent roughly, so when you see a water sample being taken and it gets sent to the lab, the lab, you'll be notified. So on my program, the people are notified through email or text.
I see.
That the water sample is bad.
So they stop using it, and the area and each municipality, let's say every water company municipality has this. They then are alerted. Everybody gets out. They fix it. Boom, it's done. No problems.
One more.
Okay, Desmond's going to ask a question. Hang on, Trevor. Yes, Desmond.
Okay. It's so in the city of Flint.
So in the city of Flint.
The problem that they had there. Water officials
hiding the data
from the residents. So there's still an element there where you have to be trusted.
Okay. So basically there's an element there of trust. And if you don't have trust and you have corrupt officials, how is this going to work?
Right.
They're like up here, I've really struggled to get through the corruption. I've really had a hard time like I said, when I started doing this, I had no idea water was so political. I thought I was very naive.
That's where we get now.
Now that I'm educating the public, that there is a program and that water should be transparent, people are now getting interested in the program, and they're now talking to their officials to get my program implemented into their communities, into their water treatment plants and all that stuff.
Well, do you think then, little by little, that you're going to collect the data from where you are and that this will extrapolate out to more communities? And is this something that you hope could be a nonprofit type of thing? What's your aim with the system, trying to do this and getting around a political system that a lot of them are corrupt to the core? I mean, I give you a lot. I applaud you, for the honesty that you are showing and the desire to look at the best in people.
Yeah, what I did, so this is going to really, do you know Nikola Tesla?
Yes.
He's one of my mentors.
Okay.
And what I did at the very beginning of this, I tried to give my program away for free. Oh. So what happened? And what happened is that simple philosophy, if you have a free hamburger, no one takes it. But if you put a $10 hamburger there, they'll pay for the $10 hamburger. Okay, I understand. You see, I get it now. I think we all understand.
Yeah.
And I don't see where you really want to become a millionaire or a billionaire, any of this. I see that you really have the best interest of communities in your heart.
Yes.
You do. And now I understand it when you say you have the answer. it may not be the scientific answer on how to treat the water, but it is an upfront answer how to prevent Flints from replicating again.
From duplicating and duplicating and
Okay.
duplicating. So what happens too is with my program, like just say if you have specialists in Germany or China, they can log in and they can give you the proper formulas for improving your water systems.
Okay, so it's also something that can be global and partnered.
Yeah.
And everybody could have one of these in their home. What about people with well water?
Well, even that too. I'm developing another part of my program where it covers groundwater, and groundwater there's just as much groundwater as there is surface water, if not more. And when you start looking at it, they both coexist together. Like I'm connected to you through our water up here in Canada.
Yes.
And I can program the groundwater down there, or I can program the surface water from up here. I don't have to leave.
Yeah, it could be right. Okay.
So that saves hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then what else I did was that I gave the data to the people. So as an owner, as the owner of Sewllke, I could have owned all the data of water in the world. But what I did is that I said I want to give the data back to the people so that they're educated and they all become experts in water.
And in this day and age, I think being an expert in water is something that is going to be critical, actually, because of all the problems. I think Desmond's shaking his head. Shaking his head. Yes. Well,
yes.
I'll tell you what, Trever. Go ahead.
And that's what. So what happens? Just say if what's the closest town to Flint? Well, what's the other state that's close to Flint?
Detroit?
Detroit. If
Big city.
Flint had my program and Detroit had my program, they would be joined like a puzzle with water data, right? So now that when they start developing for the future, that they have both communities best at heart, right? Everyone has the same data, and you have the same water treatment plants. Water is so specific to each area. So what I did is that I can tailor my program to any water system in the world.
And tailor it and train others to do and be water operators like you are.
Yeah.
Of this system. I mean, obviously your day job is a little bit different than what you're telling us. This is your entrepreneurial desire. And what is it that you do every day? Really?
I'm a wastewater operator.
Okay.
Right. So I look after water. I provide potable water, and I look after the wastewater.
So,
and now that I'm starting to get my program out there, we're starting to do watershed management. So a lot of people are looking at, like, because if you look at how big a watershed is, it can be quite intimidating. But if you bring in technology, water is very multidimensional, and you need technology to match that.
Okay.
Right? Technology is the only way that we're going to be able to manage water. Period. Paper is absolutely obsolete from it now.
Well, we have one comment from Teresa Jolly that says citizens need to demand the testing information be public knowledge. And that is exactly what you are saying. And I definitely understand this. Trever, hopefully the next one we're going to do we're going to be able to do this and have it work with the Wi-Fi, because I know this is a little bit difficult. I think our people that are following us are having a lot of patience. I mean, they're just looking at Desmond and myself and me holding the phone by my microphone. It's a little difficult, but I do want to tell you that Vicki Marks from Flint has just come on, and she says hello. And I think,
Vicki,
yeah, I do think we have a lot of information to digest at this point. I don't want to go on too much longer because I don't want anybody to get confused. I think to recap, it is really a data capture system that is at your house, at the source, that goes to the water officials, the appropriate, water district, to be managed and read. When there are problems, they get addressed immediately. It sounds like it could be something taxpayer funded. And Desmond has a question, so hang on for 1 second, Trever, while I listen to Desmond.
Okay, so I think it's as simple as pulling out your mobile phone or your laptop, and each municipality that has this software actually gets a web address that they provide their citizenship in the individual towns. And so they pull out their cell phone and log in.
Cell phone and a web address. Results. Yeah, they can keep this themselves, Trever, with a cell phone and a web address and send their data in?
Yes.
Wow. All right. Well, I think you're on to something. And we definitely are happy that you shared it with us tonight, even with our technical problems. People are watching. And this is, yes, Christina is asking, this is a new program that is trying to be introduced, correct? Yes, it is. It's something innovative and something that Trever Andrews has really designed up in British Columbia. What I'm proposing is that if there are questions, please put them in the comment section of this live stream so that Trever can read them and answer them based on the fact that we're having the technical difficulty. And I think, Trever, for tonight, we're gonna cut it short because of the difficulties. But you gave us a lot.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
That's all out of it, if this program was implemented in Flint, this would have never happened.
I can see that. I can hear that.
It would never have happened, and my heart goes out to the people of Flint. I understand what it's like not to, I'm a human being, and you need the basic needs in life. And that's what my program provides, is the basic needs without, one of my philosophies is water's colorblind and so should we.
Absolutely. Right? And I read that in the beginning from your page.
Yes.
And I'm sure that Vicki Marks is here listening to this and she can read it over, but this would have been something for her. And I can see this now. I really get the picture that water departments worldwide, actually, this is genius. So please, everybody, and Trever, I'm going to thank you now, and everybody with questions, put them in the comment section. Trever, when you review this and you read the comment section, would you be kind enough to answer people's questions with their specifics and links where they can go? And we've shared this out quite a bit, and I'm just thankful that Desmond could join. And see, you can't hear Desmond because I have headphones on. That's why, and I don't think I could put my little headphones. But do you have anything to say, Trever, before we go?
Yeah, I would like to, if we can do this again, Sandy, I would truly appreciate it. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity. And I'm so thankful to Desmond for you guys being here and giving Sewllke program an opportunity to share with the world that we can properly manage our resources with technology. And the power belongs to the people, and the power is the data you collect from it.
Yes. I'm really actually got a little bit of goosebumps thinking that this really is something that we might just be on the cusp of change, worldwide change in how people's water is managed. So thank you, Trever. And thank you. And I'm so sorry that we had the connections. Thank you, everyone. No, I'm going to thank everyone. And don't forget.
Thank you, everyone out there. And please share and please give a round of applause for Sandy and Desmond. They're doing an awesome job. Thank you so much.
Well, listen, you know what? We do as good as the people that we bring on to tell us the information. And I'm just a conduit. Desmond, you, and all of our guests are the people that really make it happen. So I'm going to thank everybody. So don't forget, everybody, put your questions in the comments, and Trevor's going to answer. And I'm going to do, not now. What was it, Desmond? It's when wish Nabi? No, I'm so dumb. I always say, peace, goodbye. Desmond's laughing at me, Trever, because I
always say Mama P.
Mama P.
Bama P.
Bama P. How can I forget that? It's so easy. Bama P. Bama P, everyone. Peace.
All right.
Okay? All right. Good night, Trever. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I hung up from Trever. Thank you, everyone. I am terribly sorry for whatever happened. I can't help but think that it's something to do with the fires in British Columbia and the Wi-Fi connection. When he came on with me, we had a nice connection. He showed me the background. It was all smoke. And it is scary. It really is. And then I couldn't see the questions, and I don't know. Something went kind of kaplooey. But you know what? For that happening, you were all here with us. So thank you. I hope people learned. Yeah. Go ahead, Desmond.
I think what he's doing is a great thing. I understand what he's doing with the software. It's awesome for any community because you could use Flint as an example. What happens when officials aren't sharing the data? But not only that, what they had in Flint was officials were actually corrupting that data. So you got to have some QA and some QC, quality assurances and quality control, because you can't just trust Desmond or Sandy or Trever or whoever this wastewater operator is at a municipality, right? At a water treatment facility in a city. You can't just trust them to enter the accurate data so folks can see it on the other end. So there has to be some QA, QC in regards to a couple of employees or something have to be able to enter that data
it's like when you're checking, everybody checks each other's work. When I worked in payroll, when you enter data, and everybody checked each other's work, basically.
Yes. And for Flint, this is going to be a hard thing for the residents in Flint to be able to say, okay, water treatment operator. I'm trying to read this comment. Oh, okay. I trust you. That's going to be the hard part for Flint, is regaining the trust of these government officials. Their statements out of the city of Flint for people who actually worked right there, took those lab results, took those samples, and then deceived the public. Okay, so the residents in Flint to say, now I trust you, that's going to be tough, and that's going to take some time, and that's going to take some healing for them.
Yeah, they probably have post-traumatic trust disorder.
Oh, I'm sure. But the key right now is fixing it, getting good quality, clean, safe drinking water there so people can be healthy. And then moving forward, I see programs like Trevor's being very advantageous, and especially across the world, like he said, because his program could have prevented Flint. It could have prevented it.
And it could prevent things in the future. I have a really good comment that I think we could end with. Teresa says, my water district sends out quarterly reports, but it would be cool to have real-time daily data. And that is what Trever is talking about. And
Bingo.
I think that we could support Trever and possibly, who knows, we'll do this again. We'll see where he wants to go with it. I believe in my heart that he really has something.
He's a genuine person.
Yeah, he is. And I'm really happy. We got the real deal here, and I really hope it goes somewhere to save people for the future. You know, there's a whole generation coming up that deserve to have clean water and clean air as a right. And if they have to have computers to make it happen and have data on their phones to make it happen in real time, so be it.
Yeah, we all carry cell phones. We all carry.
Oh yeah, we're all like this all day. So why not know what our water says, right?
Yeah, how cool would that be? I would love that. You know, the nation that I work for, the Grand Trever Span, we have our own water treatment facility, our own sewage batch reactor. We have our own plant operators and wastewater treatment operators. I would love to see us have that program, so the citizenship there could just, you know, pull out their iPhone. Well, it's an Apple TV remote, but pull out their iPhone and go, oh, wow, cool. Look at our data. You know, that would be great. So,
well, maybe by doing this and sharing this and getting, I don't know where we are. Okay. And getting this out, we are helping Trever. And in the long run, maybe we're going to be helping to disseminate this and that honest people do not take advantage of Trever. That's all I worry about. But I think he's got his legal stuff in order. So I hope so.
I hope so.
All right. Really. I do think that a lot of people probably have lots of questions to write, and Trever will review it. And again, peace out, guys.
Bama P.
Bama P. Good night. Thanks for hanging in there. Good night. And everybody wants to know, my husband is doing phenomenally. Thank you all for everything. I cannot even tell you, especially with a $60,679 helicopter bill, which is insane. We're dealing with it. Oh yeah, I opened it yesterday. I could have had a heart attack, but the insurance company said they're going to look at it all. Yeah, but that is a whole different live stream. So we're not going to go there.
Wow.
I'm laughing because it was so pathetic. If I was a different person, I would have had a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Or a stroke, but it didn't. And my husband is alive. So you can't beat that. All right, again, third time. 1, 2, 3. Peace. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.